evening, everyone. This is Roy Ryer from SEOTrainingSW.com, and our webinar this evening is going to be on competitive research and analytics. Um, we're waiting for a few people yet to join us. We got quite a sizable group that have signed up for the webinar. We're still missing quite a few people, so we'll just kind of wait for them to do what we typically do, just kind of discuss what we're doing here. If this is your first time attending one of our webinars, or if you're watching this as a replay, this presentation tonight is going to be recorded, and we will have a replay on it. Basically, what we do on our website, SEOTrainingSW.com, is we have a lot of beginner to advanced SEO training. We have recordings of a lot of our past webinars. So, if your first time you ever been on our site, first time being on our webinar, first time watching the video, just come to our website if you want to learn more about some of the free stuff we offer. The website is SEOTrainingSW.com, and right here you see a little link. But anyway, right here is you're going to see the link for our free SEO training. Just click on that particular link right there, and you can see all our past webinars and all our free SEO training stuff. And you're going to see tonight we put a lot of time and effort into putting these free presentations on for you. And there's really only thing we ask in return. And that's, when you're on your website, if there's a particular article, or, if you're enjoying watching, you're participating in tonight's webinar, or you're watching this webinar on a replay, the only thing we ask from you is that please like us, please share the love. On all our pages on SEO training, we have the social boxes on the left-hand side. Give us a Facebook like, give us a Google Plus, share us on LinkedIn, or tweet about us. That's basically the motivation behind what we're going to be doing here. We're not asking for any donations or anything. So that's the only thing we're asking. Just a little moment of your time to kind of share the love, and pass the word on to your friends and family of things we do here. Also, if you're on any of our posts or on tonight's webinar and you do have any comments or questions, we do welcome your comments. On the bottom of all our SEO tips, on the bottom of our webinars, and we have a little comment area. And if you got a particular question, if you're watching this on a replay, you got a question, please, type it in here. If you like it, type it in here. So, we welcome your comments, and if you got a question, we're going to go out of our way to help you. Also, our presenter tonight is Dennis. If there's a question I cannot answer, and you're viewing this webinar tonight, either live or on a replay, type your question in anyway, and what we'll do is we'll get that off to Dennis, and I know Dennis will answer it. Now, our next webinar is going to be a week from tonight. It's going to be basically about the same time. I don't have the form yet made up. I'm still editing the page, but we're going to have a webinar on local SEO tips and strategies. It's really going to focus on local search. We're going to give you some really neat tips on optimization, some new things that are come along the pike. And if you're a small business owner, or if you do local search for local clients, be sure to tune in and check us out, because it's really going to be an engaging webinar. We're going to be sharing with you a lot of new stuff. Also, those of you that are in the Phoenix area, tomorrow evening we have a free meetup. Every month, except for the month of December, we meet up here in Phoenix, and we just moved. Those of you that have been to our meetups before, we used to meet at the Bill Johnson's. Well, we moved to a new location, Dylan's Restaurant here in Glendale. And tomorrow's presentation is we're going to be doing some site reviews of some of our members, and we're going to also answer some of your questions regarding local search. We still have about 40 spots left. It's free. You get to meet with me personally. It's a really good. You'll also meet with other people in our community, and it's basically a lot of fun. So come on out if you're in the Phoenix area. That's going to be tomorrow night at Dylan's Restaurant on 59th Avenue. Now, something here, we also just finished up doing our videos. We had a workshop here about 2 weeks ago. We had some SEO intensive workshops. So we have these videos now online where you can purchase them. We have a 4-hour block on reputation management with Fabiano Moro. We have that entire workshop taped. You also get the PDF of the slides, and that's $67. And Facebook marketing, that was a full 1 day workshop with Bruce Safran. He's from LA. He's a very, very experienced Facebook marketer. Again, you'll get all the videos from that workshop. Also, the files we used in the class. That's 97. And then lastly, we have PR in a jar. Amanda Vega is a pretty well-known public relations specialist. She's based here in Phoenix, but she also has offices in New York, Orange County, Singapore, and the UK. So, if these are any of the classes that you might be interested in, and you don't have to come out here and fly out here if you're from out of state or, different country or whatever. Just order them right online. There's the link right there on the bottom of the page. You're going to save a lot of money and time by, buying these and just watching them from the comfort of your home on your computer, or load them up on your iPad or your iPhone. Now tonight, our guest is Dennis Hart. He's, with SEO Analytics. And at the conclusion of tonight's webinar, we're going to open up for any questions that you might have. And what we're going to be doing is Dennis is going to select the best question that he is asked. And at the end of tonight's presentation, he's going to let me know who that is. And we're going to give a free reputation management training program to that particular individual, valued at $67. I'm going to unmute Dennis here because I'm going to basically start introducing him to now. We'll get ready for tonight's webinar. Dennis is the president of Analytics SEO, the U.S. division. I first came to know Dennis back, I guess it was around 2006 and 2007, when I was, we still ran the Radar Busters website. I was using ClickTracks at that time for my analytics software, and Dennis was on the core team for ClickTracks. He's one of 100 certified digital analytics members from the association. So that, that's a great honor. He's a number cruncher. I'm certainly not. I hate numbers. But Dennis, are you ready for tonight's presentation? I'll change the presenter over to you.
So, all right. Well, and you should be able to see my screen as well. Thanks for the introduction, Roy. I really appreciate it. And as Roy mentioned, yeah, we do go several years back. I've been in the analytics business for quite a while, and have been there firsthand as things tended to merge back together and then become more specialized again. And so I appreciate the opportunity to share some information with you today about analytics SEO, and to show you ways in which we can help you achieve more success with your SEO, and ways that we're going to show you to better understand what your competitors are doing to optimize their own websites for organic search traffic and directly target their most successful actions. So this is not intended to be a sales pitch on my end. Instead, what we want to do is to show you some very practical techniques. But of course, oh, by the way, they happen to be extremely easy to do in our platform. But we certainly don't have a monopoly on good ideas, and it is possible to perform some of these same techniques with other tools. Some of them are free, and some of them are paid. But if you will indulge me for just 30 seconds or so, I will point out that that we have been trusted by lots of large brands, and thousands more than shown here trust us as well to help them with their SEO, and you can have confidence that we are the right choice for your site as well. We currently have over 20,000 sites on our platform worldwide, and the platform is available in 5 different languages. So as you probably are already aware, SEO can be complicated, but with our platform, you should be able to save countless hours every day, week, month, a year, depending on how often you're spending doing the work of SEO. And that's time that you can spend on more projects, providing better results for your customers if you're serving other customers, or providing better results for your own websites, and or even maybe more time with your family and friends. So wouldn't that be lovely? And you certainly may still need the help of an SEO agency, or at least it's very likely that you'll need additional training as well. But our platform provides both a framework for successful SEO and a robust set of tools to help either your own company or your in-house team to be more successful. So if you'll take a look at this keyword cloud, these are the types of challenges that we can help with. There's a really good chance that we can help improve your current situation by helping you be more productive, to do the right things in the right order, have more free time, and save your company time and money. So let's take a look at how we help you do that. We have quick dashboards. We have both individual site dashboards, and also if you're managing multiple websites, we have a multi-site dashboard. And also, one of my favorite tools within the platform is our priority actions table. With this, we can actually help you better understand which optimization activities need the most attention and in what order. So if you'll see here, we have a variety of tasks listed, and our algorithms help you figure out which tasks they are that need the most attention, and we'll show you in order of importance and urgency. So basically, these are the areas that you should focus on first. All right. So into the main core of the content today, we'll talk a little bit more about how we can help from a competitive situation. Well, the first way is we can help you to discover your online competitors. So whether you're a traditional bricks and mortar company that also has an online presence, or an international e-commerce site, you may not actually truly understand the scope of your online competition. So traditional marketers may be familiar with the concept of what's called share of voice. In a traditional sense, share of voice is an indication of the number of times your brand is mentioned in relevant conversations. And especially with social media these days, that can be much more complicated to understand online. But to translate that into organic search terms, our marketplace potential report shows the relative amount of traffic that other websites may be generating from the same keywords that you're targeting. The result is that we can help you, we may be able to help you discover competitors that you hadn't considered. So your bricks and mortar competitors actually may be the least of your worries online. So as a practical and actually sort of a very small example, let's take the example of a local dentist. While the dentist may want to rank #1 in Google for the term implant dentistry or even dentist or something like that, what he may not realize is that even with localized search results, he may be competing against sites like WebMD or Colgate, along with other local dentists. So we can actually help you get a clearer picture of what you're actually up against from a competitive situation. So, and also, another benefit of our platform is that we can help you target your competitor's strategy. Okay, so you can see that I've actually removed some detail to obfuscate the actual websites here. But now that you're able to understand your online competitors a bit better, you might also want to better understand what they may have been doing better than you so far. So with our competitive site audit, which, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen anything else like this in the business with other tools. You can quickly see how you stack up against your competitors across various important SEO factors. So some of these, as you can see, are technical. Some relate to linking. Some are metrics around how many pages the search engines are finding on your site and your competitors. And while you're likely to have already learned at some point during your SEO training, there are probably hundreds of ranking factors that SEO professionals have tried to reverse engineer. This chart gives you some great clues as to which ones your competitors seem to be paying attention to. So this can help shape your strategy. So perhaps you want to start with some technical fixes. Maybe you're in pretty good shape technically, but you actually just need to spend some time building more relevant content pages, or maybe you just need more quality links. And so again, we can just help you decide the best strategy steps. So another thing that we do very well is to help you assess your competitive link quality. Okay, so not sure if anybody picked up on this earlier, but we do actually integrate many third-party solutions and tools and metrics into our platform. And so, and most marketers who have been studying SEO are aware that inbound links are very important. But these days, it's not only important just to get more links, it's also extremely important to understand the overall quality of your link profile. So as an example, you may have only about 300 links, and your competitors may have 5,000, but if a majority of their links are from poor quality sites, the relatively recent Penguin updates made by Google may be causing them trouble that you don't want any part of. Or the other side of that, you may find that they have more links and high quality links, and if those links are also reasonably well distributed, you may want to jump on their back and target the websites that they have links from. So hence the idea of piggybacking on their strategy. So linked directly from that report, here's a report that helps you target the highest quality links that your competitors are getting that don't seem to be leading to your site. And you can sort those by AC rank, which again is one of those metrics that we've incorporated into our platform. I failed to mention on the last slide actually that the AC rank is a metric provided to us by Majestic SEO. And so you can actually see the distribution of the various links on this slide. And then here you can actually see a list of the links themselves, and these happen to be sorted based on AC rank order. Any of our tables and charts in our platform are sortable in various ways. So in this case, you can sort top to bottom. You can also put in ranges, which I'll show you some neat applications of that in a minute. And then also, because link building can be both an art and a science, and not always the most exciting of tasks, with the right set of tools, we can help you make your efforts more efficient and hopefully way more effective. So as with all of our tools, we can provide you the most relevant metrics in each of these tables based on our knowledge of SEO, the inner workings of it. And then, of course, you could export any of these tables into Excel in an instant, or you can use our built-in task management features to ask for help from a coworker or your SEO agency. So here what I'm showing is that I've put a few notes in here, and then I've actually indicated the amount of time that I expected it would that I expected it could take, and then a start and end date. So I figure what better thing to do on Valentine's Day than spend 3 hours working on building links. So and then you can assign it to an individual user. That we always have unlimited users, so it could be either an internal user or an external user. Perhaps you're working with an agency that you might need some help with. So all right, so let me forge ahead. Oh, and also, while this is sort of outside the focus of this presentation, we can also help you find link targets from government sites, niche directories, education sites, blogs and forums, and those types of things. So, so this really is focused more on simply on competitive analysis and piggybacking off of your competitor strategies. But of course, this is a platform that contains over 60 different tools and reports in one platform. It's designed to make it easier for you to manage your SEO efforts moving forward. And some reason it's okay. There we go. So another thing that we can help you to do, and another area of competitive analysis, is helping you to assess your competitors' keyword rankings and also try to figure out which keywords they're actually targeting. So as we so in our competitive keyword rankings report, we can help you see the list of keywords that you're targeting, the ones you've identified that you've told us that you're interested in getting traffic from, or keywords you're already getting traffic from. And then you can also take a look and sort at the top of each of these tables. Again, you can look at different ranges. So what I've done here is I've limited this table to show me a list of keywords that one of my top competitors are also ranking for in positions 1 through 30. So you can actually try to figure out, well, are they gaining on you, or are they actually beating you at some of the keywords that you're very interested in? Okay. And so then once we have figured out what the competitors are sort of up to, then we can also go into our keyword research area, and you can directly target the keywords that your competitors' SEO strategy seems to be going after by finding other keywords that they are already targeting. So this keyword research section is a deep and rich area all on its own that's connected with the platform. But you can actually sort through keyword suggestions based on keywords that your competitors are ranking for. So as we're showing here, you can even limit the keywords to only keywords that are 2 to 5 words long, as an example. It doesn't have to be, but that's certainly something you could do. And then also notice that we've again integrated third-party data right into the table. In this case, we're pulling metrics from SEMrush. And so you get an idea of the available volume for these keywords. So, yeah, you may have a competitor that's targeting a keyword, but if it's not getting any traffic, then it may not really be worth your time and effort to put any concerted effort into optimizing any of your pages for them. All right, and so for any of you who may have attended last week's webinar, which was an excellent webinar by SpyFu, if you didn't get a chance to attend, you may want to take a look at the recorded version of that. But SpyFu showed some really interesting techniques for determining the difficulty of targeting keywords. I've always been a fan of SpyFu. I love those guys. We've run into each other at trade shows for years. A lot of respect for them. And one of the things that they were talking about was how challenging it can be to figure out the difficulty of targeting keywords. While we do agree with that, we have actually worked out some of our own algorithms to figure out a difficulty rating. It's designed to be a guideline. It's not, like anything, it's not perfect, but it certainly does give you a pretty good idea of how difficult it might be to target some of the keywords that you might want to take a look at. And then if you decide that you want to actively work one of these keywords that we've helped you identify, in this case we've got some decent traffic. It seems to be, in this case, a golf pro. It's not a brand keyword. It's getting some decent traffic and we're not ranking for it already, then you can just simply click to add it to your list. That would actually be this one right here. And then you can start monitoring that, and we'll start tracking rankings for that as well. So, and then of course we also we have some excellent reporting. So we're in the business. The way I describe it to my new customers is we really are in the business of turning our customers into heroes. So SEO can be hard work, and with all the hard work that you've put into SEO, and if you're getting great results and you're having trouble communicating that, it does you very less good, and basically you're far less valuable as far as a hero status if you're not able to effectively communicate that to your team. So so we do allow you to export any tables within the application to sort of work the problem outside the platform if you want to. You can export anything as a table, any of the tables as an Excel, and we can also provide a variety of pre-configured PowerPoint and PDF reports. And you can actually automatically have your logo, your company logo put into the PowerPoints and PDF reports to make it easy for you to not have to manipulate them afterwards. And then you have the ability to combine existing reports into custom reports, which you can also apply across multiple websites, save them basically as a template, have some of the Excel reports automatically generated for you. And again, as I'm sure you're aware, SEO can be very challenging. And so, again, while we do our best to optimize how you optimize, it's kind of one of our marketing slug lines, so to speak. We optimize how you optimize. There's still no substitute for the most powerful SEO tool that's ever been designed, and that's the human brain. So with all the best tools and reports in the world, it still does require a person or many people to try to make sense of the data, to try to push a strategy forward, to design a strategy, to push that strategy forward, and to do some of the work associated with SEO. that may be something that you feel capable doing yourself, or again, maybe it makes sense to do some ongoing training, or maybe finding an SEO agency. But whatever you choose, hopefully we can be a part of your strategy and help make your job easier and make your efforts more effective. So with all that, I'll turn it back over to the real brains of the operation, Roy, who was smart enough to allow me the opportunity to show you how to piggyback on your competitors' SEO strategies.
Okay.
So
You hear me, Dennis?
I can. Yep.
All right, guys. If you have any questions, please type them in. Again, we're going to be giving a free. What we'll be doing tonight, we'll be giving a free DVD or USB, I should say, of our. Hold on, let me get this back here.
Okay.
You should be able to see my screen right now.
Yep.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving a free training of our reputation management workshop that we had here a couple weeks ago. So, please type your questions in, and Dennis is going to select the winner of the event. Now, Dennis, I don't want to put you in a bad spot. Is there a chance of it maybe that you can log in and and I got my screen right now on there, so if you have to log in with your username and password, but is there a chance that you maybe just kind of show, live what the interface looks like? Would that be possible for about 10 minutes?
Yeah, that'd be absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So just give me one moment
And
here.
in the meantime, just type in
And
your questions, guys, and I want you guys to see this interface, live. If Dennis could do that, we began, using this. What is really cool about this? David's on the call tonight also. We do a lot of site audits for clients, especially now after people have been slapped down by Penguin. And, prior to using Dennis's program and the things Dennis offers here, I could tell you guys, we're literally looking at 8-9 hours of putting together, a Penguin site audit for, a lot of our clients. We've been able to cut that time element down considerably by using Dennis's software because it's really in tune to what's going on. So Dennis, are you ready? And I'll change the presenter back to you.
yes, that's fine.
Okay, let me, Dennis here, give that back to you. Okay. And
Okay.
and you should you should have the screen. So
Okay. All right. Let me.
do you have it there, Dennis?
Yeah, there we go. Can you see it again?
Yeah, what I see is the
Dashboard.
let me
Can
see.
you see the
There you
dashboard?
go. There you go. Now you're live. Okay, there you go, buddy.
All right. All right. Great. Yeah. So basically, the way that the platform is oriented is we have sort of multiple tabs here. Of course, I'm an administrator, so ignore my Drupal login here. And but what we're able to do is to quickly toggle between either this site if you're working on an individual site, and then you can also look at all sites, which would actually give you a view where you can actually see the KPIs for multiple sites at the same time. And so as I showed earlier, this is the priority actions table. One of the coolest things about this is that not only are we showing you which tasks you should be focusing on, but you can also change your mind about that if you really just if you don't agree. Again, you have to apply your brain. But then also, if you find something in this area that's just popped in there, because I'll give you an example. Let's say that you've already worked all of your 404 errors down to 0, and maybe somebody changes something and moves a page around and you didn't know it, and all of a sudden now you have a new 404 or 4XX of any kind that you didn't know about, 404, 403, whatever. Then you can actually just click on that particular report right in the interface, and it will take you directly to the report where you can actually take action on that particular error or area. Okay, so and then we'll also sort of give you some indication of the context as well. So in this case, It's not a very large website, so one page it seems to be unreachable, which may be enough of a problem for you to take a look at, and then you can actually view your dead links directly in the interface as well. And then another area that can be very handy, especially for content development, once you've decided which pages you want to optimize, we'll actually also show you some pages that have a low level of text. So in this case, 10 pages that have a low level of text, which is 20% of this particular site. So again, not a very large site. It'll give you some information about any tasks that may have been assigned, when it was last updated, and then we have notes integrated directly into the platform as well. So here's a list of the pages that have a word count of less than 350. Now, you again may want to do something slightly different, so we provide you the flexibility to be able to change that. So for instance, if you wanted to see, if you really feel like you need to have at least 400 words on a page, then you can increase that, and it will actually increase the number of pages directly in the report. And then of course you can sort so that you can actually look at only at the pages that are getting some traffic over the period of time. And then again, you can take some notes. I worked on 5 pages today. Hey, let's write some more copy for these pages, that type of thing. And then you can assign tasks directly in the interface. Okay. Yeah. So Roy was actually mentioning the site audits. Again, you can export all sorts of different reports from any individual task page. You can export the task, but the automated site audit feature is a very robust feature set, and as Roy mentioned, it can save hours and hours of time. Maybe you need it for internal reporting reasons. Maybe you'd like to be able to do a quarterly audit, something along those lines. All of that is possible with our reporting features. So. And then again, you can so in that case, I'll just show you. You can export a PowerPoint or a PDF, and then you can choose one of any number of pre-configured reports, including our full site report, which is basically nearly every report we have. Takes a few minutes to download, but it's worth the wait. Usually less than 5 minutes, and then you have a pre-configured PowerPoint, which you could certainly modify. You can also, if you don't want to see the scores or topic descriptions or any of that kind of stuff, depending on who the audience is for the report, you can actually take those out at a meta level here as well. And then of course you can manage all of your SEO related tasks in this interface, and then you can also track your results. What I failed to point out too, if you notice here, anytime I mouse over any of these tabs, you can actually see that we have this red, amber, green method. So where basically, if you have a technical area like a robots.txt file, so this is basically, does it exist or does it not exist? If it does exist, then we'll show it as green. So you don't really have to focus any time and attention on it. But if your page load time has started to slip or is doing worse than your competitors, then we'll actually show you that as red, and will indicate that's critical. That's something you should work on. Or something like dead links, where you have some dead links in there that you weren't aware of. Maybe you've got some temporary redirects, so that's a warning. 54% out of 100, so you have some temporary redirects, whereas you probably ought to have them as 301s, things like that. So again, the whole idea is to try to simplify as much as possible the process of SEO to help you maximize your effectiveness. So let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any questions that have popped in. Roy, how are we doing? Have we developed any questions so far?
Oh, hold on there. I just had to
That
unmute.
can either be a good thing or
you got to give me a second to unmute.
That could be either a good thing. Either I did a really good job of explaining the concept, or maybe.
No, we do got quite a few questions. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Um,
So,
and what I want to do is I'll just take back control of the screen here. Give me 1 second here. First off,
okay.
Dennis, I just want to make this comment before I start addressing a lot of these questions. We probably got about 20 questions. Please, guys, keep them coming because you know, the really great program. And what I really like about Dennis's program, again, I explained this to you, early on. I'm a cop. I understand red light, yellow light, and green light. All right. It's very simple for me to understand. And so I don't have to, like, if I go into Google Analytics, I'm just shoveling through mountains and mountains and mountains of data to try to understand what's going on. And your program makes it so intuitive for me to really go in there quickly and say, okay, these are problems. I need to get these problems addressed. These are some concerns. So that's what I really like about it. So, I'm not spending hours and hours of my day going to this page, that page in Google Analytics or some other software. So that's what I really enjoy about your program, Dennis. Um, Now we do have some questions coming in. First question is from Joe T. And his question is about the API. As you know, without naming any of your competitors, Dennis, there's been a couple of your competitors that basically been cut out by Google because they don't have access to the API. How did you get around
Okay.
that? And that question's from Joe T.
That's a great question. So far, the best one of the night. Oh wait, that's the first
That's the only
question.
one.
Uh, yeah, that is a great question, and for the official answer, I would definitely direct you to the blog post that I put forward the middle of December of last year, right after the announcement was made. We are of course aware of that situation, and the long and the short of it is that nobody wants to quote unquote poke Google with a stick, right? We certainly don't want to do that either. Um, we um, we sort of faced the same situation a year ago, and we took a different path. Um, so a path that we feel like is a much safer path moving forward. We are showing PPC data within the platform. It's just that we're getting that information a slightly different way. And then also, for instance, I did show you actually we have SEM rush data in there so that we can provide volume metrics and things like that from for PPC volume metrics. So we feel like we are good corporate citizens. We feel like we're playing by the rules. We are providing some ranking data, but we're trying to do things in a very sane way that's not going to make anybody mad. And so far, so good.
All right,
So,
all right. Next question is from Bill Hoffman. He's wondering, you know, do you give any information as far as toxic links, exactly what links will be toxic in your profile, and just so you can remove them through Google's link removal tool?
yes, another great question. It's going to be a tough one. I may have to flip a coin so far. Yeah, so we do actually, and as I was showing you in the competitive site, well, actually in the competitive link profile information, you can actually pull reports based on your own inbound links, and then because we have AC ranked data in there already and a few other metrics, you can actually just reverse sort them and export them to Excel, and there you go. There's a list of bad links. So that's a great question. It wouldn't surprise me greatly if we had that as an actual click this button for toxic link report here someday extremely soon. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
Okay, very good.
We will have something. But yes, we right now already have an excellent way of handling toxic links.
Okay, question from George Hart. How does this program interface with your website, and how does it get all the metrics that you've shown from your competitors?
That was that George Hart, is that right?
Yeah, George Hart.
Okay, no relation. No relation. My dad was adopted, but okay. Um, all right. Well, so basically, I could tell you, but I'd have to hunt you down and kill you. No, I'm kidding. Basically, we are integrated with lots of different third-party applications, but most of the technology is our own proprietary technology. We do utilize Google Analytics. So if you have Google Analytics installed on your website, it's a very, very simple process to connect with Google Analytics. So we are taking some data from Google Analytics. And then as far as the competitive information, we just have a really, really smart team of engineers. And once we know about a competitor that you're interested in looking at, then we have our technology go out and find the information and reverse engineer the process. So
Okay, this is a question from Bill Rowski. He's out in back east. He's in the New Jersey area. And Bill does SEO for some local clients, and he was curious about. He doesn't want to. Basically, his question revolves around. He doesn't want to print out reports with your logo on it. He wants to print out reports with his logo on it, and he wants to kind of make it look like it's his reporting. Is it possible to do it with your software? And I believe you showed that, but if you want to talk about that again.
Well, I didn't actually show it, but I did mention that. He's right, or you're right. Yes, you can white label the entire platform and present it like it's your own, um, and also without even white labeling it. Which, by the way, I mean it's extremely simple. I can even do it, and that's I'm not extremely technical. It's actually a wonderful white label interface. But even there's a branding section in the platform at every level of the platform above the SME platform, and you can and basically you just upload a logo, um, choose the appropriate size so that it's not gigantic on the report, and basically it'll just export all of the reports with your logo every time. So
Okay,
it's extremely easy to do.
very cool. Fran Smith. She asked, is there any kind of automatic reports that you maybe could put into a queue that would be emailed to you on a regular basis? Things you want to look at so you don't have to log into your program.
Yes, I'm not sure why anybody would not want to log into our program, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, certainly, and we do have automatic reports. Right now, our interface is focused around automatically exporting Excel reports, but we are actually, and the reason for that is because our PDF generator allows you to also add your own comments to it. So the workflow that we recommend along those lines is setting up an Excel export of any of the reports that you want, and then especially if your audience or your stakeholders are internal, that may be the right format. You could certainly turn that Excel into a PDF very quickly, or from the platform you can actually just you can set up a list of basically the favorites in your reports and just rerun those reports in PDF or PowerPoint or anything else that you want.
Okay,
So
question
yes,
from
we can
Bill
see you
P.
set up automatic reports.
This is a question from Bill P. He's asking if he can give other members of his team access to the information without having administrative rights for task management.
Absolutely. Yep. No problem. Um, Perhaps I should have just done a full feature demo because you guys are picking out all the important things. But yes, absolutely. You can set up permissions-based logins for users where they can you can have some people that can add sites and others that can't, and all sorts of admin features there. And in every version of our platform, we don't charge per user. And part of the reason for that is because we are sensitive to the fact that it is almost always a team effort, and we don't want you to have to to share logins and wonder, well, if somebody moved this particular or added an extra column to this chart, that's on a per user basis, and so you can set up what you want your reports to look like, and other users can have their reports look slightly different, and so therefore just unlimited users at every level of the platform.
Okay, next question comes from Pete. Last name is Nunn. So
Okay.
Pete Nunn.
As in the flying nun, or as in N-O-N-E?
N-O-N-E.
Okay.
Does your program compete with SpyFu, or does it complement SpyFu?
You know what? I don't really consider our platforms to compete. There was a very interesting blog post, and I don't know, it may have been in other forms as well. It was put together by, um, oh boy, her name escapes me. I know her actually. I think I even know her personally, but for some reason her name escapes me. It was put together mid last year sometime. Boy, I could provide you better insight than that, I'm sure. But it was a list of all of the different SEO tools that she uses, and it was just a huge list of platforms and tools and all sorts of different things. Um, and what we have attempted to do is to try to simplify your life to where you don't need quite as many. We are not at 100% yet. I mean, I don't think that it would ever be possible for there to be a platform that does absolutely everything you need. What we have attempted to do is to be as close an approximation to the application of the Pareto principle as possible. So the 80-20 rule, right? We're trying to provide you with 80% of the tools that you would need to to get 80% of the work you need done in 20% of the effort, or something along those lines, right? So and you know what, SpyFu's a great platform. Again, friends of those guys, like what they're doing, and I don't really see us as being overly competitive with them.
And Dennis, let me answer that question in my way. I've been involved in SEO, since 2001, and with my old website radarbusters.com, and I started. Well, I began my relationship with you, Dennis, when you were ClickTracks, and I began my relationship with SpyFu, probably around the same time. Now, I'm
Hmm?
not saying your program is anything like SpyFu or ClickTracks, because it's not. It's what I'm seeing here with your program is, just blows ClickTracks away. But I use SpyFu pretty much exclusively for my paid SEO tool because of the data it gives me. It allows me to really, get the data I need in a quick format as far as keywords for my competitors and that type of information. So SpyFu to me is more of a good top of the line keyword research tool. Now, what I like about your program and using your program, it's a really quick and easy way to go in and do competitive research on your competitors and on your website. And it really flags you. I mean, it gives you these big warning signs right there in the face that you got a problem on your site you got to pay attention to. So,
Right.
there's only so many hours in a day, and I like using programs that save me money and time. Okay. So using your program as with the competitive analysis and the analytics aspect, your program rocks. I think it's one of the best out there. As far as SpyFu is concerned, I would consider SpyFu one of the top keyword research tools out there. And again, to be
Yeah.
successful in this and to be successful as an internet marketer, you have to have that tool bag where you can just reach in like professional mechanic. I need this screwdriver, or I need that wrench, or whatever you need to get the job done and get a job done quickly. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I will give them this, right? SpyFu is a very exploratory tool. Um, I actually, honestly, I like playing around in SpyFu. I do. I think it's they've got some really neat ideas, but I mean, and they are really very focused on keyword research. And really, I think SEO is evolving to the point where keyword research is still important, but it's also it's also deeper and richer and wider than only keyword research these days as well. So I mean, every tool I think has their place in the market. And if I were to choose various tools that I need to do SEO, I would say both of us would make the list, to be honest about it.
right,
But it really just sort of depends on what you're trying to achieve.
exactly.
So,
This is a question, and by the way, Pete's last name was Pete Lance. So thank you, Pete Lance, for that question.
okay.
This is a question from Larry Mann. How long does it take to analyze your website, your competitor's website, and what's a ballpark price? And also, you might mention that we're going to be giving a discount code towards the end of this presentation.
Yeah, that's right. Well, okay. So how long does it take? That really depends on how successful you want to be, um, and how important SEO is for your business. Look, I'm realistic about the fact that SEO is it works better depending on what business you're in and how competitive your website is currently and how competitive it needs to be in order to achieve what you're trying to do. To the example of the local dentist, it may not take you very long at all, and just having some of the basics in place, fixing some of the technical issues, having doing some online outreach as far as getting some good quality inbound links and things like that, and you may be fine. You write 20 or 30 pages of content, maybe start a blog, and you're all set. If you're Cisco.com, that's just a huge range in between. So that's probably an extremely vague answer, but what I can tell you is this, and this is probably the most important way for me to answer this, is if you're already spending 15 hours a month or something, or 40 hours a month, or 40 hours a week on SEO, it's very likely that this platform could save you a bunch of that time, because we're going to eliminate, in many cases, I've realized I've been talking with my hands and actually showing things in the platform, but anyway, it's not necessary to do that, but just realized we're still looking at the Q&A slide. But the technical reports, as one example, is you may need to pull that stuff out, and you may need to revisit that all the time. But a lot of times, if you just mouse over that tab and you see a bunch of green, you're good, right? And so it's going to save you that much time. As far as pricing goes, and of course, automated export of reports, and saving reports as templates, and all the other time-saving features, being able to assign tasks to various people within the organization, etc. As far as basic pricing, we do actually have a free version of the program. Boy, am I good at sales, right? So you can have it for free for up to 50 keywords, 1,000 backlinks, and 1,000 pages crawled. Okay, it's designed to give you access to the platform, to allow you to explore the different reports as your needs grow, and maybe the size of your website grows, and your interest in maybe targeting some longer tail keywords, or maybe implementing a strategy to target multiple website or multiple search engines, things like that. Then you can easily upgrade to our SME package, which is actually the package that we have the coupon code available for, which is basically about $170 a month in US dollars. If you visit our website, you'll notice actually that you can pay in multiple currencies, including British pounds and euros, and US dollars. The reason for that is because the company is headquartered in the UK. Incidentally, I found these guys about 3 years ago when I was speaking at SMX Advanced in London, and just fell in love with this platform. And so I was actually a customer of the platform before I actually joined the team. So that's maybe a good indication of how much I love the platform as well. So I got to use it in the real world. It did save us lots and lots of time, and we began relying on the platform more and more.
Okay, this question's from E-Rock, and it's basically the same question we were just asked, but he has asked a couple more in there. And basically his question is, what differentiates your program from SEO Moz Pro, SpyFu, SEMrush, Majestic SEO? Well, the first thing I'm going to say in answering that question, you're getting the data while a lot of these folks aren't, because they've been cut off from the API. And do you want to expand on that a little bit more?
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's see where I start. Well, first of all, probably the best way for me to answer that is to tell you that we do have a fairly good sense of our competitive sets, and we are extremely polite, because again, we're headquartered in Great Britain, so we never say bad things about our competitors. And also, it is a small world, actually. So we see these guys on a regular basis. So far be it for me to ever say anything bad about a competitor. But we have actually put together on our website a fairly substantial list of competitive analysis of our own competitors, and we've basically posted what we consider to be as quote unquote as unbiased as we can, right? Considering the fact that we obviously have a favorite, But there are some things that they're offering that's different than what we are providing. And it's not our mission in life to only to do the same types of reports that others are doing. So SEO Moz is an example. They've got a phenomenal community, right? It's they've contributed so much to the world of SEO, um, and um, and I think that we spend time with each other at trade shows, and we kind of each kind of lift our skirts up a little bit, in a professional way, and they've stood at our booth and said, "Wow, that's really neat. We hadn't thought about that." And we do the same thing with them. And I used to use SEO Moz as well. Um, they're continuing to develop stuff. So are we. But I think, what really sets us apart is that, and this is also true of several others as well. But we came from an SEO background. We've all professionally managed multiple websites simultaneously, and we've suffered from the workload challenges of SEO. And so I really don't feel like any other platform does as good a job as helping you to manage the actual process of SEO. And we've also invented some reports that others just haven't figured out yet, and that also differentiates us. And an example of that is um, we have a report called Depth and Breadth, our organic depth and breadth report, which, ranking reports are still valid, but maybe one of these days we're going to need to figure out a new way of really understanding the overall growth of your organic traffic, right? Not provided is still a problem, and regardless of what types of technology you try to apply to it, we're not going to ever get that data back, and so we're going to need to figure out new ways of understanding the overall traffic, organic traffic to your website. And so we're continuing to innovate, and so that's really, I think, one of the things that sets our platform apart the most.
Okay, we got two more questions, so it might look like we might actually get done with this webinar in a reasonable time.
And
Pete Bass,
maybe even before the what is it, the State of the Union address? Who
yes.
knows? I got 3 minutes.
Pete Bass
All right.
Pete Bass asked, "What's your recommended page word count? And would it be wise to come up with more content for Find Us and other pages that might be lacking in content?"
So actually, the recommended word count that we have in the platform is 350, and that can certainly be debated. I think it might differ slightly based on how high that content is up on the page and some other things that get kind of talked about. But 350 is the standard in our platform that we're looking against. And but again, you can change that if you want to. As far as developing more content, well, absolutely. We we always feel like providing good, valuable content to people who care about it ought to be the ultimate goal of your website. And regardless of how hard you're working, to quote unquote SEO your website, what you really ought to be focused on is, providing value to your potential customers. And if you're doing that in a sane way, and you're not trying to trick the search engines, because they will figure it out and they'll figure out a new way of slowing you down, then yes, building a good, solid content plan, where you're providing good information for your website visitors, that really should be the end game goal. We're here to help you figure out what content your website visitors might be more interested in based on what your competitors seem to be providing on their websites, and also to help you make sure that the search engines can find the great content that you've been developing for your website.
Okay, and I'm just going to answer that. I just have my own number. I like to have a number of about 450.
Okay.
So everybody you're going to talk to, is going to have a different, but typically 300 to 450 words is what I would call someplace comfortable to be within. Okay, the last question tonight is from Joe Lucas. Do you have any metrics on how much time your customers are saving each month. And I'm going to just answer that, uh, my perspective, and working with your program, our staff working with your program, as far as us doing site reviews for other clients. We're shaving off, a typical, site review, diving into the analytics, getting the little pieces out of the analytics the way we used to do. We're looking at an 8-hour job. Your program makes it so much easier. We're cutting off, probably half that time, as far as what we have to go shovel through the analytics. So I could comfortably save maybe 3 to 4 hours, per project going into a site audit. What's your perspective, Dennis?
Well, yeah, I mean that's actually a very good way to look at it. I mean, just it would be to take a specific project and try to figure out, okay, well, how much time would I ordinarily be spending on something, then just kind of back it out. And a site audit is a great way to look at it. I can tell you that again, applying the 80/20 rule, right? If I were to, because I was at an agency and we were building site audits also. We used to spend countless hours building a site audit using a bunch of different tools, trying to sanitize the data so that it all kind of made sense and fit together correctly, and then we try to explain that back to the customer. And it seemed like every time we did that, we would spend more and more time doing it, and we would change the format nearly every time. The platform, so just now, that's just for site audits, and we're talking multiple sites, okay? And as you say, this way you can basically essentially click a button and you at least have a place to start, right? And so then you can just modify from there, and if there's pieces that you don't really feel like need to be communicated or whatever, then you can just delete the slide or whatever. But then also from the actual work of developing links and all that kind of stuff can be so time consuming. And so finding good quality links in meaningful niche directories or forum posts or blogs and things like that, that can be an ongoing battle. And so having tools in a platform like this to help speed through that process, it can save you immeasurable hours, because you may actually spend, in some cases, the same amount of time, but you're 4 times as effective because now you have good quality links to be targeting.
Now, and also I
So,
want to emphasize this. When we do site audits, a lot of times what we do, we have clients all over the country, and clients typically like to be spoken to, touched. And what's really cool is to be able to take your data and dump that right into a PowerPoint presentation, do whatever edits we need to do, and then have the client come up on a go-to-meeting, fax them that report prior to the go-to-meeting, but then open it up with a PowerPoint presentation. And I mean, it just wows the client. Like the client's just like, oh my God, you spent all this time doing all these graphs and all this. You guys must know what you're talking about. Um, anyway, and Joe has a follow-up question. He just typed this in. Let's get it real quick. Have you been able to add on clients or capacity through the use of the software?
I'm sorry, actually, you kind of broke up a little bit there, Roy. Can you
Okay.
repeat that last question?
Okay. Follow-up question from Joe Lucas. Have you been able to add on clients or capacity through the use of the software? I could tell you this, Joe. We didn't have to hire another person. Uh, all right.
It's either a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah.
It's basically cut our workload down quite a bit as far as the site audits. I mean, our team we do quite a few site audits, and this program has just basically been able to enable us. Say we don't have to hire another body right now. We could bring in new clients and do more stuff without paying somebody else to say okay, and then train them all the time. You need to do the train them and put everything together. So yeah, technically we've been able to add more clients on it. But the beauty of it, we didn't have to hire another person. So I hope that
Right.
answers your question. Okay,
Yep.
I want to thank everybody for the great questions we did have. And Dennis, kind of hold on to who asked the best question tonight for just another moment. Those of you that are interested in learning more about the program, again, you just go to I would ask you to use the link on our website. If you go to SEOtrainingsW.com, there's a link there, or if you go to the website direct, that's fine too. But anyway, again, you can sign up to get a free account. All right, Dennis spoke to you a little bit about that. And that what it, at the time you decide, okay, this program really rocks. This is something I want to do. Here's a discount code right here, SEO Training SW 0213, and you'll get a 10% discount if you decide you want to get the program and start using it. So that'll save you a little bit of money there. And now this we do have some workshops coming up next month. I'll be speaking about them here in a few moments. But those of you that might be interested in going to the next level in your SEO training, these are some of the things our alumni have said about our training. We do a lot. Again, we do a lot of free SEO training. We have our meetups. But Barbara here just attended one of our paid events here this past week, and she says our training is outstanding. Personal integrity and commitment to excellence makes us a shining star in the crowded area of SEO training. And I want to thank Barbara for that particular. This is a testimonial from Alan Buckner. He's a sales director at the American Red Cross, and Alan, feels that I'm one of the best internet marketers and practitioners and instructors of SEO that he's been involved with the Red Cross, and always studying the forefront of SEO mythology. And we just go take that little effort. I want to thank Alan for that comment, and Tom Wilkerson. I met Tom a number of years ago. Very successful site for forklift certification, and he's known me for 7 years. And he's the only person he says he trusts in keeping up on the head of SEO and SEO marketing strategies. And with that, we do have some live workshops here next month. Those of you that want to learn more about our live SEO workshops, go to our website, seotrainingsw.com. Click on the link there, it says SEO workshops. On March 8th and 9th, we have our 2-day SEO essential workshop. We basically, those of you that are just starting out with SEO, want to understand what SEO is all about, we go through, our SEO roadmap, and we spend 2 days going through it. We work with you on your own website. We have plenty of instructors here to go one-on-one with you. We actually work on your own website with you. Also, we do site reviews right there in the class. So that's going to be March 8th and 9th for those of you that want to start off your journey into SEO. Then on March 16th, we have a local search workshop. It's going to be focused entirely on local search. That's on March 16th. And then on the March 22nd and 24th, we have the advanced 3-day workshop. And there's going to be a total of 4 instructors here for that also. And this is where we go to the next level. We really get into the nitty gritty of SEO and really show you some advanced strategies on how to go ahead. So if you want to learn more information about our workshops, I'd like to invite you out here. Just go to our website, seotrainingsw.com, click on that link, and love to have you out here, guys. Now, Dennis, who is our lucky winner tonight for the free training?
That's a really good question. I've been sitting here looking at these names and the questions next to them. It's a tough call.
That's why I don't make it.
Yeah, oh man. Well, what I would like to do too is for anybody who asked a question, I'm going to keep this list. And if you are interested in following up with me directly, certainly you can reach out to Roy, reach out to me directly.
Joe, give me your phone. Dennis, give me your phone number, your email address.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. It's Dennis at analyticsseo.com. Extremely complicated, but it's DENNIS at analyticsseo.com. And then if you just mention that you had asked the question during the webinar, then I can provide you with some other form of either a discount off of the platform or something, some sort of additional benefit that makes the most sense for you. So rather loosely worded there, but that's purposely so. But you know what? How about I'm gonna go with Joe T, who asked the very first question. Because they were all so good, he broke the ice and asked the first question, and it was also a very good one about the API and that situation, and he was delicate enough to ask it in a meaningful way as well. So how does that sound? Does that sound like a good idea?
That sounds great. And Joe T, please shoot me an email, Roy at seotrainingsw.com. Let me know what your address is, and we'll get that shipped out to you as soon as I get that. Dennis, thank you for a great webinar this evening. Everybody that's on the call tonight, thank you for attending. I'm going to jump off and I'm going to watch the President of the State of the Union.
All right, great. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
everybody have a
Appreciate
great
it.
night and thank you, man. Bye bye.